Was Icebreaker a success right from the start?
Well, the first person I showed the original garments to, who was a retailer, slammed the door and said, "Don't talk to me about wool is dead." So I wouldn't call that a runaway success. And I'd invested everything I had and been working on the idea for a year, but the garments looked very basic. It felt fantastic, it worked brilliantly, but it took a few years to get the styling and the look right. The initial garments were just blue and white, and sometimes the white would turn yellow if we left it in the batch too long. It took about 4 years before it really worked out what we were doing.
What was the inspiration behind layering?
We spent a lot of time in the Southern Alps with the families that grow the fibre, and they taught us about how the merino sheep lives. It's really different to a normal sheep. Normal sheep eat grass all day, and these guys live in the mountains, have a much finer fibre, and at the end of winter they get shorn. So they go from a thick fleece to a very fine one. And there's enough wool there to protect them from the UV light and also let the animal breathe. And that was the inspiration behind superfine and the light body fit layers. And then as the conditions get colder, the animal layers up. So literally the whole layering system was kind of built on observing how the animal coped with this changing environment and asking how we could do the same thing as a clothing system for humans. Angie, are you actually wearing the Icebreaker? Can you use that, Claire?
No, don't. How has the Icebreaker system evolved since the early days?
Well, initially we only had one fabric. It was Bodyfit 260. And then we started experimenting and wearing Bodyfit over Bodyfit. And then we thought, what happens if you make it a bit heavier? And so the next range was Sport, and found that when you wore the two, it's a totally light, breathable clothing system. And then we thought, what happens if you do lighter layers? So Bodyfit turned into 200 and 150, and we invented Superfine because we wanted something in the summer to make an all-year-round range. And then Outer and Kids came along when we started having children in here, and we developed a sock company. So the whole thing has really been an evolution of that same idea of how the animal layers in nature and being innovative and just being questioning around what we can do with this fibre.
So what's Icebreaker actually about?
Well, when Icebreaker started in 1994, the outdoor brands were about men climbing mountains predominantly. Yet the inspiration behind what we were doing was about a relationship with nature. So Icebreaker on one side meant breaking ice in terms of staying warm, but on the other side it was really about new relationships between humanity and nature, between people together in nature, as opposed to just, men kind of getting sweaty, and also this new relationship of merino wool against skin. Because even though we came from New Zealand, you'd think there'd be a lot of wool products. The only wool we had was the itchy old stuff. So this was a new idea. So really what Icebreaker is about it's about our relationship to nature and to each other.
How important is sustainability to Icebreaker?
Well, we started from nothing, so we could build it, Icebreaker, to be whatever we wanted it to be. What I didn't want is to buy fabric and put a badge on it and start selling clothes. And that's how much of the industry works. We start with the actual growers, or the families that grow the finest wool in the world. We have long-term contracts with them that go out into, normally 3 years into the future. And we built a system which has the best technology and the best partners to create our own fabrics, to manufacture the garments, and to handle the global logistics, because we sell in over 30 countries now. And because we're really proud of how that's built and how clean that is, and the ethics behind it, the social ethics, the environmental ethics, and also the animal welfare, that's what inspired us to launch Barcode. It's a way of our customers to find out, or to actually connect with the families that grew the wool, and then to find out as much as they want about our manufacturing system that we've made intentionally transparent. We want to take leadership around this, and we think we've got a role to play in what the future of apparel can look like.
Barcode sounds really cool. How many people use it?
Well, we get a lot of people through our website, well over 1 million every year, and since we launched Barcode, we'll have 100,000 people through it. That's a lot, so people care about this stuff.
And what's next for Icebreaker?
Well, we want to stay the leaders of Merino. So we're about innovation and new ideas and new technology. But the thing that's most important to me about the business is the people I work with. We've got offices all around the world. We've got a fantastic culture here. And when you get the culture right, you can do anything. We're launching new ideas every season, well into the future. And for us, it's about the challenge of creating new things, building new things, and being relevant to our customers and asking them to come along for the ride.
Ah, and is it true that you wear women's underwear?
I'm not sure about that, Angie. You have to ask my PA. Oh, that's right, you are my PA.